Hey, friends, welcome to the Johnson City Living Podcast, where we learn about the people, places, events, and flavors that make Johnson City a lovely place to live. It is a beautiful spring day here. It's March. It's still cold, which is weird, and but it's beautiful here. And the sunrise this morning was breathtaking. But anyway, I'm here with somebody who's equally as pretty. My friend Martin Stigward. He is the head tennis coach for ETSU. Martin, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
And you just got off the road, right?
We did, yeah. Just
Where
got
were
back.
you?
We were in Houston, so we
Houston.
got back yesterday.
How'd it go in Houston?
Went great.
Did you win?
We won the tournament, so can't complain.
All right.
Worth the trip.
Worth the trip. Worth the trip when you win. If not, you tell the guys to walk home.
Yes.
That's a long walk from Houston.
Yeah, it is.
Jog it out, boys.
Yeah, a little warm up there.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about you. You are head tennis coach at ETSU, right?
Correct. I'm the director of tennis,
Sorry.
but I run the men's team.
Okay.
So been here for 4.5 years. So this would be my fifth year finishing at ETSU. So
Okay.
it's been great so far.
Yeah. Where'd you come from?
I was at LSU before here.
Okay.
So a little bit of a weather change,
A little, a little cooler in the winter.
but no, I like it. I enjoy having all seasons, even though, like you said, I wish it would be warmer right now.
Right.
We're almost April here.
Yes.
Begging for some
Yeah.
sweat.
And they were threatening snow this weekend. And
Yes.
it didn't happen, but it could have. I remember when I was a kid, we played in the snow in April.
Well, I think it was last year or previous year.
Mm-hmm.
It snowed, I think April 14th or something. I
Something
remember
crazy.
because we had a match. So never forget.
Get out there, boys, and
Yeah.
shovel off the court. We
Yeah, I
got to
know.
play.
Yeah, especially when you have a bunch of South Americans in the team. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah, so you have a lot of South
I
Americans on the
do.
team, right?
I do.
How many do you have?
Uh, so my assistant and I are from South America. That's
Mhm.
two, and then I have 8 out of 10 from South America. So 10. Sorry, seven. Seven.
7 out of 10.
So 7 plus 9 out of 12 with
So you carry 12
coaches.
dudes on the team?
No 10, but I was
10.
counting
Oh, you
myself
too.
and my
Yeah.
assistant.
We'll count you. Yes, you count.
Yeah, we count. Thank you. Thanks for counting me.
You count very much. So you and your assistant, tell me how the team's doing this year.
Pretty good.
What's your record?
We are 12-5.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, we're already ranked in the top 75.
Nice.
But I think we should be probably 14-3
Okay.
or somewhere in there. Unfortunately, I've had so many injuries this year. Um, two of my top guys have been out most of the year. But the good thing is my new guys have been playing a lot, which doesn't happen normally.
Mm-hmm.
It's just we've lost some really close matches against ranked teams without having one or two guys up in the top, and that really hurts. As tennis is
Sure.
one of those sports, you lose one of the top guys, and it shuffles everything.
Yeah.
But that's part of the thing, right? You can't cry about injuries; it happens to everybody.
Yeah.
So,
I still have some eligibility. I'm just saying.
all right,
You can call me up. I'll
well,
come out there.
let's do it.
I think I'm old enough almost to audit classes, so
Uh-huh.
I can just, you can get me in
I'll
there.
get you some medium shirts, and you'll be great. That's what the guys like.
Yes, I like the mediums.
Yeah.
Yes, it makes me look thinner. All right, so let's get the Martin story. So where were you born?
Born in Quito, Ecuador.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like a Johnson City on steroids.
Yes.
No, it's in a high altitude mountains. Um,
Did you grow up with Juan Carlos? Did you know him?
no, I did not. No,
Okay.
he's
It's a
way
small
older
town,
than
isn't
me.
it?
He's way older than
Yeah,
me.
he is old.
No, he's it's 2.5 million people, right? So
I don't know why you guys didn't run into
yeah,
each other.
exactly right.
Okay.
He's a soccer player, tennis
Yeah,
player.
you should have seen each other every day.
Exactly. But no, never met until we moved here.
Okay,
But
cool. So born in Quito,
yes, born and raised
raised.
there.
How long were you there?
Until I came to college. So
Oh,
until I
really?
was 19, yeah.
But you said earlier, when off record, you had German teachers.
Yes, because I went to German school in Ecuador for 12 years. Um, so it's basically we have French schools, we have British schools, we have German schools. So I went to German school my whole life. Because in Ecuador, it's not like here where you have middle school, high school, elementary. Over there is the same school goes all 12 years.
Yes, like University High. That's where I went.
Yes, exactly. So I went to German school since kindergarten, and then all throughout. Um,
They teach you German?
they do start
Nice.
at third grade.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
and then it gets really bad because then you start having or your math books and chemistry books and biology books are in German.
Oh,
So that is awful.
yeah.
But
And then you're hanging out with your buddies speaking Spanish.
yes,
And
but
then you got to deal with us English people occasionally too.
well, that was later in life.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, but we do have all our the cool thing about that school is like all your German teachers are from Germany, and all your English teachers are mostly British.
Okay.
So the language is taught very well, very well.
Hmm.
It's very intense, and you get trips to Germany here and there. So that's yeah. And then my dad spoke to me in German growing up. So
Interesting. Where was he from?
oof, that's a long story. But my grandparents were Austrian.
Okay.
Had to escape the war.
Hmm.
And so my dad was born in Ireland,
Mm.
but he lived there for I think less than a year, maybe a little so. And then
Hmm.
they went to Argentina. You know, all the people took boats to Argentina, and that's where he was raised. And then at 30 some years old, he moved to Ecuador for work.
Okay.
And that's where he met my mom, and that's where I was.
And along comes Martin.
Along comes myself.
Any
Yes.
brothers or sisters?
I have a sister. She's in Ecuador. She's 3 years older.
Okay.
And then I have my dad was married before in
Hmm.
Argentina, and I have two brothers and a sister from that marriage.
Okay, cool.
So I am the youngest of all of them.
Gotcha. You're the baby.
Yeah,
You got spoiled, didn't
I
you?
did.
Yeah.
But
Still
yeah,
are probably.
probably we're all spoiled, I guess.
We are all spoiled. Yes, sir, for sure. So you grew up in Quito. Where'd you go to college?
My 5 years I went to University of Florida
Okay.
in Gainesville, and then I went to Georgia State, Atlanta.
Did you
Yeah,
play tennis?
I
I'm
did.
assuming.
I did. In both schools I played.
How'd you do?
Pretty good. You
Yeah.
know, at Florida we were two in the country, so
Nice.
it was a great. We're really good. And I wish I would have never left. But that's when the crisis in Ecuador happened, and we lost our currency, and like literally, it was just a fiasco. So just to give you an example, with $1,000, you could literally buy a car back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So paying 5 grand for college out of pocket was completely unheard of. You could
Right.
almost buy a house with that.
Right.
So it was really tough, and I had to transfer to. We were still really good at Georgia State. We were top 40 in the country, but I just had to seek a bigger scholarship because we
Gotcha.
just couldn't make
Yeah.
ends meet. But it was a great experience. I mean, I can't complain, right? I'm here because of it, and it
So
turned out great.
Florida to Georgia State.
Yes.
Were you? Did you ever like? Were you good enough to go pro? Did you think about that at all?
The system was different before, where you had a year after high school to play.
Mm-hmm.
You could do whatever you wanted. So I was actually playing pro
Hmm.
before I finished high school, and then that period I was playing pro. I was doing quite well for my age, but
Mm-hmm.
I had a really bad back injury,
Hmm.
and I was actually playing a challenger, which is a professional tournament in my hometown, and I collapsed on the court, and my back just gave out, and I had a vertebra moved out of place, so I couldn't play tennis for a year.
Ouch.
So basically, my year of playing pro was basically me wearing a corset, swimming, and doing bicycle
Just rehabbing.
at home. And
Oh.
so after that happened, it was like a no-brainer. I'm like, I'm not gonna uh, gamble
Right.
going pro because if I go now, I can't go to play D1.
I got you.
And I lost my sponsors, everything because I was just so out of. So I came, and then after college, I could have played, but honestly, the back was still a little bit there, and it was just for me. It was just a moment to just move on. My mind, I don't think was in the all in it to
Mm-hmm.
play pro anymore. College is really intense,
Mm-hmm.
and so and I but I knew I wanted to stay in tennis,
Mm-hmm.
so
What'd
it
you get
turned out
your
well.
degree in?
Uh, Finance,
Gotcha.
finance, and most tennis players do business, things like that. And I was actually doing sports management when I transferred. They didn't have it, so I ended up going on the business route,
Gotcha.
and it was great.
So you had some sports management stuff from
Yeah,
Florida.
yeah.
Cool. Okay. And then so did you just graduate and you went straight to LSU?
No, it's I went to actually the Hamptons. One of my friends in my team said, Hey, a buddy of mine, his dad owns a club in East Hampton,
Oh, nice.
and they need a full-time pro. And you know, tennis is one of those things that once you graduate, you can start making really good money off the bat because,
Teaching lessons.
yeah, the hourly rate is really strong.
Yeah. Are you
So
teaching lessons still?
a little bit. I have like one or two clients here.
Okay.
I'm a little picky with that. No, because I don't.
If you're listening, you have to make the cut.
Yes, you have to.
You'll have to
There's
come out and try
tryouts.
out, and
Yes, yes.
yeah, he'll give you some sort of written exam.
Social skills, all that
Social skills.
matters.
You have to be able to speak Spanish and German all at the same time.
Yeah. But no. So I went there, and I was there for a year.
Okay.
In East Hampton, it was quite the experience, and they were actually able to. They had a lawyer in the club too that helped me get my visa as
Oh,
well.
nice.
So that turned out well. And then honestly, um, financially it was great. I mean, coming out of college, I was making bank, and
Coming out of
but
college,
yeah,
if you're making $20,000, you think you're
yeah,
making bank because you've been
yeah,
eating like
yeah,
ramen
yeah.
noodles.
Well, I was making four times that
That's
in
awesome.
2010
That's
as
great.
as a 23-year-old
That's good.
with
And
no debt because I had a college scholarship. So
nice.
it was really nice. But
Also,
I just
got to be careful.
yes. And well, the thing was, it is. I mean, you have to be 9, 10 hours on the court
Right.
teaching
That's
because
true.
if you don't work, you don't
Right.
make a dime. But it
Yeah.
was great, and the connections were great.
Yeah.
I met some really famous and wealthy people, as you could
Nice.
imagine,
Yeah, I
in the
bet.
Hamptons. But it was just the weather got to me. It was just so cold.
Yeah.
I'd never been in the north like that, and
I would
uh,
think almost all the courts would be inside.
it was the winter was long.
Yeah.
So I um I ended up getting a job in Richmond, Virginia, at a country club.
Okay.
It was a really nice club, and I was the assistant director there. And I was there for 3 years. Similar thing as the Hamptons, just working at a club. This was a little more of a country club,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it was really nice. Met some amazing people, and my boss was great. He had played college tennis. He was not too far old from me, and um, but then I got to a point where I was like missing that competitive edge, and I was like, okay, I really want to do something more.
Mm-hmm.
It gets getting the same lessons here and there every week was a little bit too much of a routine.
Right.
And being a tennis player where you travel and change
Mm-hmm.
sceneries and do different things, it got to me a little bit.
Yeah.
So I knew the pay cut was gonna be massive going into college,
Right.
massive. But I was like, okay, I think I was 26. I was like, it's either now or never,
There you go.
And
Yeah.
VCU opened at the moment, which is in Richmond,
Mm-hmm.
so it was great because I was like, okay, I don't have to move,
Mm-hmm.
and I can still teach lessons on the side
Mm-hmm.
because I have so much clientele here.
Right.
So I ended up getting the assistant coach at VCU, and they were always really good. They're like an ETSU. They win the conference all the time. They've actually been to finals of NCAAs. It's the only mid-major really to be in a final of NCAA in
Really?
tennis. I mean, without counting Pepperdine and stuff, but Pepperdine in men's tennis, they're really not a mid-major.
Yeah.
And so I was there for 3 years, and it was great. And we did really well. So that's when I was like, okay, this is what I like to do. Like
Uh-huh.
this is, and then I went to Auburn, and I was at Auburn for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and after that, I moved to LSU.
Head coach at LSU?
No, all assistant
All
coach, most of the
assistants. Okay.
positions. Yeah, and unfortunately, at LSU, after that year, the head coach got fired,
Mm.
and it was one of those things that, as an assistant, that's just what's tough. You're attached to the
To
head
the coach.
coach,
Right. Yeah.
and
We're cleaning
it
house.
was one of those things that you're kind of in the air, kind of waiting, and this opportunity opened up, and well, what's funny actually, Chattanooga opened up first, and I wanted that job because they were really bad,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew the potential because
Mm-hmm.
it's a nice place, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, there's no way they should be last in this conference, right?
Right.
But they didn't even look at me, right? Not even interview, nothing, nothing at all. And
Hmm.
then ETSU opened up, and it worked out. That's when Dr. Sander was the
Mm-hmm.
AD, and what happened was Dr. Sander had been the AD at VCU for a really long time.
Ah.
So when this opened up, Paul, the head coach at VCU, who just retired, I think he's the most winningest D1 coach in history.
Oh, wow.
He called Doc and said, "This is your guy."
Martin's the man.
Yeah, and it worked out great. And now I'm playing Chattanooga every year and beating them every year. So I was
You're like,
like,
I'm going to
well,
keep you down. You made a
yeah.
bad decision.
So I mean, it is what it is.
That's
But
right.
it actually turned out great for me
Yeah.
because you never
You
know.
and I got to be friends. I
Exactly.
mean, right? That
That's all.
alone.
That is all that matters, right?
Right. You know,
Yeah.
like it all leads back to here
Exactly.
on our
All leads back
podcast
to
right
this
now, right
specific
here.
table right
Yeah.
here.
See, man, you've traveled all over the
I
place.
have mostly in the East
No
Coast.
wonder you're tired.
Yeah, I know, and that's just for work. I mean, that's just for my job, but I do travel a lot during the year.
You do travel a
But
lot.
I like it. I like it. I can't complain.
Keeps it going.
Yeah, it is. It
Keeps it
is.
interesting.
It can get kind of exhausting, but
Yeah.
it's nice.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And so you've been here 5 years as the head coach.
Yeah, 4.5. I mean, finishing my fifth now.
Okay. So you've lived in Johnson City 5 years. This is Johnson City living. I forgot to ask you right off the bat, what's your favorite thing about Johnson City?
My favorite thing about Johnson City, if I well, there's a few, but if I choose
You
one,
can give me two
give,
or three, or give
probably
our listeners two or
probably
three.
the house that I own here, I probably couldn't afford anywhere else in the country.
This
That
is
is
true.
for sure. Actually,
You can't afford it now.
I
I'll
was
tell
gonna
you
say
that.
I couldn't afford my house right now, and that is actually what I was
This is
gonna say.
true. Yes.
Um,
It's crazy.
it takes me 7 minutes to get to work, no traffic because there's never traffic, and I go home every lunch most of the time, just get my dogs out, eat at home. I mean, that lifestyle is just
It's hard to put a
absolutely
price on, isn't it?
precious,
Yeah.
and then I mean, I do like the fact that the school is so close to downtown and to
Mm-hmm.
where I live, and that's just a nice mechanic to live around. And
Mm-hmm.
it's growing,
Yeah.
but it's well, not yet. It's not growing to a
We're gonna be like Quito
crazy.
in a
Yeah,
couple years.
exactly. I would
Yeah,
say
two,
so.
3 million.
Yeah,
No problem.
no problem, right? We'll just start building in Buffalo Mountain and all
Yes. We'll
that.
like just yeah. We'll be ahead of the game.
Yes,
We'll start building high rises out on the mountain.
exactly. But no, I feel like we're in a pocket where there's quite the diversity for the region.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there is. I still see some diversity around here,
That's good.
and I like that.
Yeah.
Um, Being international and
Mm-hmm.
having an international team, I think that's always important to me.
Do your guys feel loved by our community here?
They do. I mean, it's so far, yeah. We talk about that all the time, and they they like it here a lot,
Yeah.
and I want to say it helps that we win because a lot of people recognize the tennis team just like the golf team as well.
Right.
So it's helped. I mean, they like it a lot. It's a fun place. It's very calm. The chief of police. He's a huge tennis fan.
Oh, that's fun.
He comes to all our matches, and he's a really good friend. And so I guess he always keeps tabs on my guys
Yeah,
too.
probably.
Um,
Yeah, that's
and
funny.
But no, it's been great. I mean, they really enjoy it. Like I said, I feel I like this job too because I know it's a safe place
Mm-hmm.
comparing to most of the country in
Right.
terms of if it's a weekend off, I'm not like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? Where are they gonna get into? Like, where they're gonna go, and what's gonna happen most of the time. So
Right. If you needed to go find them,
exactly.
you could go
So
find them right away.
it is a nice place, and
Yeah.
I know parents care about that stuff when you're
Mm-hmm.
looking at schools, especially parents that are miles and thousands of miles away, right? That you cannot just drive here.
Right.
So that's important. But
Yeah, because they're looking to you.
yeah,
You're the dad.
yeah. But I mean, it's funny because my group of friends is mostly international. It's just everywhere we go, everybody's like so amazed of how many internationals are together in such a small place, right? Because you have both soccer coaches, right? There's
Right.
Scottish and English. Then you have um, another buddy of mine who's Irish. I played soccer with him in college.
Okay.
Then the head coach at Tusculum, he's from England too. So we are quite and then Dave's Lily, the men's soccer coach, his fiance, she's from Latvia. She played golf at ETSU.
Really?
So we are a very, very foreign bunch.
Yeah.
And then you have Seth. You probably know Seth Thomas. He's always with us,
Yes.
and he's the local, right?
Yeah.
He's the local of the group. But
That guy, he falls into just everything. Like just his
really,
life. Yeah. You're like,
Well, he's
One, he's
working. He's
super.
working with us
I
now.
know
Yeah.
he's like the facilities guy now,
Yes, he's
and I'm
the
like, that is
facilities.
like the best gig ever for you. You
It's
get to go
unbelievable.
be on the floor, on the field, on the court, on the golf course, whatever he can get. I mean, he's just got total access. I'm like, bro, you're this is awesome.
I think he thought it was gonna be fun to work with friends, but now he's realizing that we ask him to do a lot.
Mhm.
No, but he's been great. I think for him, it's like you said, it fit perfectly.
Yeah, and he's a go getter,
Yes.
and so I think he'll make some
Yeah.
good changes and
Yeah.
help you guys grow. Um, okay, are you over the women's tennis as well since you're
I'm
director?
not. I mean, at the beginning a
Who's the
little
women's
bit, but
coach?
now
Yeah, yeah,
not
you were
really.
coaching both, right?
Not coaching. I was kind of overseeing a little bit because
Okay,
Ricky, who's been here, Ricky Rojas, who's been here forever. He
okay,
played here and he was assistant. Then he was with the men, and now he's with the women.
gotcha.
Um, he was doing that transition when I came, and
Hmm.
with everything that had happened when I came, we were kind of both kind of like trying to figure things out. But no, he's the head coach of the women. He runs his program, and he's doing a really good job. And like I said, he's been here forever, so he likes it too,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah. They're doing, or the women are doing well too,
They're
right?
doing really well.
Yeah,
They're strong. It's just Furman on that side. They're just
S-
top 20 in the country. They're doing
really,
really good,
that's
and
great.
it's a. I think for them, Furman is what Furman men. We are for Furman men. It's
Hmm.
like that. That's the final normally, right?
You and Furman.
Furman ETSU and the women, Furman ETSU and men, Furman women win, we win. That's been the pattern that's been happening every year. So
So Furman has you guys up at the beginning of the year, like these are the guys we've got to beat.
yes,
Like you're the target. You got a target on your
yeah,
back.
and same goes in the women's side. Furman is the target for
I
everybody.
gotcha, gotcha. Okay.
But yeah.
So what does it look like for the rest of the season for you?
So we have this week we have two matches at home.
Yeah, I'm coming Friday.
Friday,
I'm
and
excited about that.
there we go. I want to hear your loud voice.
Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, I'll
Whenever
be
you
yelling
get
all the time. You'll
excited.
be like, keep it down,
No,
bro.
no, no. We play Greensboro at 3 p.m. on Friday.
Yeah.
And then we play Chattanooga at 3 p.m. on Sunday.
Okay.
And then the following week we go midweek. We play Thursday at the Citadel,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Charleston, probably like going
yes,
down there.
yes. And then we play at home that weekend. Um, and then we go to BC. Sorry, we go to Furman the week after.
Okay.
And if things keep falling like they're falling in place, that match could be detrimental because that could determine the regular season
Mm.
winners. Obviously, we have to keep winning and they have to keep winning. But if the pattern keeps happening, that
That'll
match
be
is gonna
kind of
be
like the conference championship prior to the
yes,
conference tournament.
yes. So, but we have also senior day coming soon. We play Mercer here.
Oh, cool.
Um, and it's funny because one of my well, he's not a senior. He's in grad school, but this is his last year. He just transferred from Mercer,
Oh,
so we're
nice.
using that day for senior day. So it's quite interesting.
That'll be good.
Yeah, it'll be fun. But
Get some dirt on all the rest of
I
the
know,
guys, like
yes,
mentally break them down.
yes, he's enjoying that part. Yeah,
Yes, that'll be fun.
yeah.
That'll be fun. Okay, so when's the conference tournament?
So that is the
And you
20.
guys are in the Southern
Yes, the
Conference.
SoCon.
Yep,
Um,
SoCon.
it's on the 22nd or 23rd of April. It's in Chattanooga,
Okay,
um, and it's 8 men's teams, and everybody goes.
okay,
Um, so last year was the only year where we had 4 teams go because of COVID.
gotcha.
But normally it's been all 8 teams go, and it used to be always in Chattanooga.
Mm-hmm.
And then some coaches were trying to move things around, and we went to Macon one year, and last year we went to Birmingham. But everybody's realized that Chattanooga is the way to go.
Just because of this central
Well,
location.
location and facility.
Okay.
Facility because they have the Champions Cup, which is really nice. I think there's 16 or 18 courts.
Oh wow, you can play a lot of matches.
Yes, and but that's not the biggest part because a lot of places have this size facility. It's the fact of the indoor backup.
Mm.
If for example Birmingham has in Hoover where they play the SEC baseball,
Mm-hmm.
they have a tennis facility there. It's
Okay.
gorgeous.
Huh.
The thing is, it's in Hoover. It's a little far, and then if it rains, there's only 3 indoor courts that Sanford has in Birmingham. So it's like 40 minutes away, and that's it, three. But Chattanooga, you have Macaulay, who has
Mm-hmm.
top-notch facility. They have 6 indoor courts that are better than most Power 5 schools. And then you have Baylor,
Yeah.
who has also indoor courts. And then you have that club
Yeah.
right across the street from Chattanooga that's on the water that also has indoor courts. So that is the biggest part for us because
You can
if it rains, you remember
you can pivot and get in
it's men and
inside.
women at the
Yeah.
same time. So
Holy cow.
if it rains day one, you are done.
Yeah. You're
So
like
have
a
yeah.
whole day behind. You're like just
So having a place like that, it just helps so much. Like when we went to Macon,
hmm
you know, they don't have indoor. The indoor is Georgia Tech, which is an hour and
yeah,
some away.
Atlanta. Yeah.
So we actually had to play the final the same day as the semifinal
Because it's gonna
because of the,
rain the next day.
so I did not like that.
You're like, hey, my guys need to rest.
Yeah, I mean it applied for both teams, right? I just don't think that was ideal because
Mhm.
that determines so much, right?
Right.
You're talking about an NCAA bid on the line. So I think everybody's realized this is the place to go, at
So you're
least for
going to
now.
Chattanooga. You're going to win the conference championship, and then you go to the
That's a plan.
NCAA's.
That's a plan.
Where is the NCAA held?
16 regions, top 16 teams host.
Okay,
So basically, once they have every team that's going, they do with
a
the
lottery.
NCAA show, which we normally when we go in, we have it on campus, on the big screen, and you find out there where you're going.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's you just go name by name, boom.
That'll be fun.
Yeah,
You'll have to let me know. I'll come to
I
that.
will for
That'd be
sure.
good. We'll
We
be
gotta
like,
win, but I'll for sure invite you.
when you
Yes,
win, yeah,
yes.
yeah. I'm speaking like it's going to happen.
Okay.
We're going to Pasadena or somewhere. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Pasadena.
Just threw that out. Pasadena. It sounds good. Rose Bowl. We can play the Rose Bowl. They got tennis courts out there. It doesn't ever rain. You don't even need
I
indoor out
know.
there. Yeah. Okay. So 5 years in, you see
Yes,
yourself with ETSU for a long time?
I do. I mean, I'm
I mean, I'm
young.
putting you on the spot a little
No,
bit, but
I'm young, but I've been around quite a bit.
right?
And
How young are you?
38.
Okay.
Recently turned 38.
I got you about 10.
Yeah.
You better respect me. I'm just kidding. I'm old.
Yeah. Well, no.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it.
If
Something.
you feel old, that's on you.
That's right.
I don't think you are old, but if you feel old,
That's your mental
yes.
deal. Talk
Right.
to me about because I played tennis, and once you get your ground strokes, and it's a lot of just mental.
Yeah.
Talk about mental game for your guys. What do you like? How are you coaching them? If I've got some young tennis players, I got one. He's playing today at South Green. Um, what are some things you're telling these kids to be focused on during the match? How are they staying mentally sharp?
So tennis is extremely repetitive,
Hmm
and because it's muscle memory,
hmm
right? And it's one of those things that you want to think, but you don't want to think, and that's where it
You
becomes
think you want to
tricky.
think, but you
Exactly.
really don't want to think.
You
So
want
why
to
are you
know,
thinking
yeah,
about
you
that?
want to know what you're doing on the court,
Yeah.
but you want to be automatic. Uh, but the biggest thing is normally to trust what you do in practice, and if you're doing something in practice and it's working and you're executing all the time, then there shouldn't be any doubt in your mind that that will happen in on the court in a match day.
Right.
And that is the biggest hurdle, right? A lot of guys will do something over and over and over, and then they get to the court and they just second guess themselves. And it's like you've been probably hitting 10,000 balls doing this right there.
It's
And
because there's a different guy. It's
yeah,
not, you're looking
and
at your buddy across the
exactly.
time,
And
half the
sometimes
time
they'll
you're
think, "Oh,
practicing.
my technique feels different. My technique looks different," and it really doesn't because your muscle memory is completely engraved in your system.
Right.
I mean,
When you've hit
yeah.
10,000 shots in a row,
Well, I guarantee you, these kids have hit over
millions.
hundreds of
Yeah.
thousands
Right.
because that's all we do. Um,
Because you work them hard.
yes, but the biggest thing in tennis compared to most sports, there's not a clock, right?
Right.
There's no time,
Yeah.
so you can be down, and then it's important that you stay in it and you understand the tempo and the momentum and the
hmm
matches and take your time. And I always tell them if you're winning and things are going right, keep moving, keep going, and if things are going south, that's when you start taking your time,
hmm
go to the towel, count to 10, like figure a way to slow things down,
hmm
because there's no rush, there's no rush. And some people, sometimes you'll play someone that's winning easy, and even believe it or not, they still feeling that pressure to close the match.
hmm
So the longer you make them stay in there, the more pressure they put on
hmm
themselves. And tennis is one of those sports that it's really easy to play when you're down.
hmm
It's easy to play when you're behind because you kind of start losing that pressure.
hmm
And it's very tough to close out a match because there's no clock.
Right.
So you can be, let's say, up a set and 5-2 up, but you have to close it.
Yeah.
There's no clock that's gonna help you and be like, oh, it's over and you win.
Right.
So the pressure is there. I mean, at every level. It's one of the hardest things. Actually, it is probably the hardest thing in the sport is to close out a match,
Right.
regardless of how easy it looks on the board.
Yeah.
So a good tennis player will understand that. It's one of those sports that you can. I don't want to say you can easily come back, but you can always come back.
Sure.
And you know, the the mental aspect is huge. I think over the years it's shifted a little bit towards the physical aspect because the physicality of athletes these days is just unprecedented. I mean, you look at every sport, right? You look at basketball, what a guy like LeBron's doing at 40 years old, whatever. And you look at soccer, what Cristiano is doing at 38 years old. You're looking at Federer, Nadal,
How's
you
that
know.
happening? You think that's genetic or just like
No, no, no,
training
no.
and
I,
recovery
I
and we
think
just know about our bodies a lot more?
I think the the technology in terms of recovery, in
Mm-hmm.
terms of products, in terms of now people are starting to understand and use, massage therapists and people specialize in the field of recovering your body,
Right.
right? Just like and like I said, the gels, the pills, the products that you have access
Therapy
to.
guns. You can sit
I
there and
mean,
beat your
the
muscles, but yeah.
Normatex, the Game Readies, all those machines are incredible. But also now I think we've realized that being early or mid 30s in a sport, you're not old.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you were a
You're done.
dinosaur.
Yeah.
And so because people had that concept, athletes would just quit.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody ever really tried. It was more of like, oh, I'm in the 30s, I gotta go. Bye. And
I got to go
now,
to the country
yeah,
club and start teaching lessons.
tennis specifically, you had to peak by 20 when I was young,
Yeah.
2021. But now people are starting to peak 26, 27 because that's when you have the most physical and mental capacity. I mean, if you think about it, 2021, you are
You're
so
still
young.
immature. Yeah.
So that's the shift that's changing. And I think, like I said, those athletes have made that happen. Cristiano and Messi and LeBron and Federer and Nadal,
Mm-hmm.
and even a guy like Michael Phelps or
Mm-hmm.
Usain Bolt. I mean, obviously golf is a sport that you can play until you're super old,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of these athletes have now changed that and made people
Right.
understand, okay, this is and I like that because now there's not that pressure to be so good when you're 22,
Right.
23. Now there are athletes that are incredible at that age,
Yeah.
but you need to wait. And but yeah, I mean, if you think about it, low 30s, mid 30s, you're still young. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and diets, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think people are starting to realize how important it is to eat well,
Mm-hmm.
um, and that's always tough, right? Especially in this country.
Especially on the road with college
Yes,
kids.
yeah. Well,
You know,
it's
what do you guys eat a lot of when you're out on the road? You going to like burrito joints and getting?
I mean, when we are so for dinner we always try to go to different local restaurants
Mm-hmm.
instead of going like
Yeah. Support the people.
the Olive Garden, right?
Right.
I mean, I
You're
don't know,
like,
it's
if you
so
eat
tiring.
another tour of
Exactly.
Italy, you're done.
Exactly. So they like it because of the amount of food, but we will try to go to Italian places that are local, that are nice.
Get some pasta,
Yeah.
build some
If we
glucose for
go, if
tomorrow.
we go, like when we were in Corpus Christi, I took him to a nice seafood place, right? And we had like crawfish and things like that. So, um, we were in Houston. We went to a Mexican place. Obviously, Mexican food there is off the charts,
Yeah.
right? So we try to do that, and then lunch. That's where it's tough because it has to be something that if you have to eat before a match, it has to be something that is gonna stay in your system, but it's gonna digest quite well.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking about maybe Chipotle or Subway, Jersey Mike's. I mean, just your typical things because there's not much you can do there.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, we try to mix it up quite a bit. Um, it's tough sometimes, when you're in a big city in the weekend because we're always out going on the weekends. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you try, let's say Cheesecake Factory on a Friday in Birmingham, good luck.
Right. You're
I
not
mean,
getting in there.
yeah, because you're 12 people, 10 people, you're gonna wait forever.
Yes. You're like my
So
friends, the
yeah,
Winsteads. They have 10 of them.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, we try to mix it up, but we try. I mean, I try for them to eat well, and my guys are reasonable in that.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Okay. So you're going to be here a while, which is exciting because we get to hang out quite a bit.
What's the
Um,
plan?
so how can our listeners connect with you besides coming out on Friday and
Yes.
supporting the Bucks? And you guys, where do you play on campus?
So we play on the. It's right next to the football stadium.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Dave Mullins Tennis Facility.
Old Dave.
Yeah, all Dave.
He's a good buddy.
Yes, and he comes to pretty much all our matches.
Oh, does he?
He's been great.
Good.
Um,
I look forward to seeing him.
but the court's right next to the football stadium. There's two banks of courts. There's
Mm-hmm.
the top ones that are blue. Those are ours, and the bottom ones, the green ones. Those are the Rex. Um, and there's parking there at the football stadium.
Yep.
And what's nice is that there's a bunch of handicap parking, but they'll cover it. They'll leave some open, but they'll cover most of them for game day.
Okay.
So
So
there's
you can just park
plenty
right
of
in there.
parking there. I mean, worst case scenario, you can park down at the bottom course, but
Yeah.
it's really nice. I mean, when the weather's nice, we get a nice atmosphere. You have the grassy area in the back. You can bring your dogs. You can bring your kids. Uh, the good thing about college tennis versus a tennis tournament is you don't have to be quiet, right? If you go watch Nadal and Federer, you have to be silent. Here you can talk. There's kids running. There's this. There's that, and obviously, that's the fun part.
Maybe not a boombox. Don't,
Yeah, I mean,
why
yeah,
not? Maybe.
exactly. Sometimes you'll hear music coming out of somewhere. I don't know.
Somebody's car's
Yeah,
thumping around going down the road.
but it's pretty fun. I mean, we also have live streaming for the
Oh, cool.
people that
Yeah.
maybe can't make it or want to watch it, and for us it helps great because, like I said, all my kids are international, so all their
Yes.
parents and
Their parents are
families can
watching.
watch.
That's awesome.
And there's the links always on their website. If you go to the schedule and
Yeah.
let's say we're playing Greensboro that day, you scroll down to where it says Greensboro, and it'll be live video there. It's PlaySite. That's a company that runs it.
Nice.
But ideally, if you're in town, come watch. Right? I mean, that would be the best. And we have Pepper there a lot. Pepper,
Yeah.
the school
Yeah.
dog, and
Mm-hmm.
um, a lot of athletes come watch because they my friends are really good friends with the women's soccer team, the men's soccer team, softball, things like that. So they all go watch each other, which is really nice.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm on the website right now looking. So that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm excited. Okay. Let's get back to my list of questions. All right.
You have a
So
list?
they can come see you there. They can find you probably on the ETSU website.
Yes, we have also social medias,
Yeah.
Instagram, Twitters, Facebook.
So look up Martin.
Yes,
I like it.
look us up, follow us. If our Instagram is probably the most fun if you're trying to see the day to day when we travel.
Yeah.
We post stories with things like birthdays. Facebook too, and it's pretty fun. We try to do a little bit, not only like, oh, we play this day, this is the result. We try to
Right.
put more like what happens when we're on the road and where we're eating, and like we went to paintball this weekend
Oh,
when we were in
fun.
Houston. So
Yeah.
we posted a picture there, and it was fun. I have bruises all over
Oh
my
my
body,
gosh. Those
but
things will light you up.
yes, but they had a lot of fun, which is great. I think they
Was
were
there
able to.
payback? Were they like trying to nail you a little bit? Yeah.
So yeah, there was a point where when you surrender,
Mm-hmm.
surrendering was the worst idea ever because you're like, okay, I'm done, and you turn around and you get hit 5 6 times, and it's like, okay,
Wait a minute,
I see
fellas.
how it is. I
What?
see how it is.
Yeah.
So, but it was really fun. We always try to do some activities when we have time. We're on the road and we have time, which is rare, but we always try to do things like that. I think it's important for them to just disconnect.
Yeah.
Just your typical airport or
Mm-hmm.
club, sorry, tent facilities, hotel, restaurant, tent
Right.
facility, hotel, restaurant, like that. That's the life. So
Yeah.
it's always nice to let's do something.
Well, we're getting a ton of people moving in, and I'm sure there are a lot of tennis fans coming in. And how's the team like? How can they support you guys? Can they help donate to the?
Yeah, I mean, obviously
Do you
there's,
look for stuff like that? Do you need
of course, every team
outside support?
we have foundation accounts,
Mm-hmm.
and we use those funds to, um, improve facilities sometimes, or to sometimes if we need like a little bit extra scholarship or just anything that will help the program
Mm-hmm.
is always welcome. I mean, there's always things you can improve, right? There's always
Sure.
things to do. We actually just got brand new referee chairs, and we got some court. It's called court dividers. So If you've
Okay, your
never,
ball's not bouncing off
yes,
of the, going into the
moving,
neighbors.
yes.
Yeah.
Um, and now the facility looks really, really nice.
Oh, I bet.
And so there's always things that we can improve on. Now this summer we have to um, redo the whole court that it
Oh,
resurfaces. Yeah,
resurface. Ooh.
that normally is done every 4 or 5 years,
Okay.
and this is the fifth year. But the problem we're having now is there's a lot of cracks, and I
Ah,
think we're not exactly sure what happened. We had some engineers come and all that. I wasn't here when the facility was built,
right.
but something's moved in the ground that's
Mm-hmm.
caused these cracks.
Could have
And
been all the work on the baseball or
football,
football field.
yes, and
Yeah.
I think that's part of it as
Yeah.
well. So that is a very intensive job, and but that needs to happen because
Yeah.
we had the cracks a couple years ago. We fixed them
And
with
now
a
they're bigger.
company, and now they're bigger and now they're wider, and so we're getting that done. And obviously,
It's
any
crazy what they can do now. They can drill
it's
holes in there, pump the whole thing up, stop
exactly.
any of that stuff. It's amazing.
So any help is always welcome
Okay.
and things like that. And
Or if you resurface courts, come out and just knock it out for free for you guys.
please go
Come
ahead.
on. That'd be awesome.
And but yeah,
We'll get you fired up.
we got it. Yeah, that'll be great.
What
I'll
what,
wait
what
for your
fires
fired up.
you up?
What fires me
What
up
fires you up?
in what?
Just what do you get fired up about?
In life or in
Yeah, in life. In
tennis?
life.
What gets me fired up?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It seems like we need to help you find
It
that.
does. It does. I mean,
Obviously, taking good care of your team,
yeah. I mean,
those guys,
of
pouring
course,
into those,
of course. I
leading
mean,
them. Yeah.
honestly, seeing my kids graduate
Oh, that's
gets me fired up.
there
I
you
mean,
go.
this class was my first
Oh yeah,
recruiting
that's right.
class,
There you go.
and it's my best recruiting class.
Ah, I
And
won't tell the other guys.
well, it is because I'm graduating my number two, my three, my four.
Oh wow. Who's
So
the number one guy right now?
it's a guy from Venezuela,
Okay.
Dimitri. He's only a sophomore.
Nice.
He's done really, really well.
Good.
But if you look at in terms of the numbers I'm losing, this is a super
You're
strong class.
graduating a lot of
But
guys,
this is
but that's awesome.
my first recruit ever at ETSU is graduating, so that holds a special place.
And that's the
Obviously.
goal, right? You
Yeah.
want them to be
Oh,
student
for sure,
athletes.
for
Yeah.
sure. And again, they're gonna graduate at some point.
Gotcha.
So when they
Right.
graduate on time, it's a really good thing. And it's a lot of hard work. I mean, a lot of hard work. Some guys are um, more academic than
Mm-hmm.
others, and
Mm-hmm.
you have to be responsible. We don't. These kids don't have the time allotment than most normal students have.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know students that go and work, and they occupy their time really well. But I know a lot of students that just have a lot of time in their hands to do things. These
Mm-hmm.
guys don't,
Yeah.
and so it's a very hectic thing. And obviously, I do want them to enjoy their social part because college happens once, and it's 4 years that you will never replicate
Mm-hmm.
and you'll never get back.
Yep.
So I can't expect them to be machines, and I can't expect them to be like, oh, tennis school, tennis school, tennis school. I
Right.
want them to enjoy themselves
Be well
because I was
rounded.
in
Yeah.
college, and I understand that is a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's done correctly and at
Right.
the
Don't.
right times.
Yeah. Everything in
Yes,
moderation.
yes. So
I get it. Okay. I know how you take your coffee. Fancy.
like you,
Yeah. Where are you gonna go get a where are you gonna get a pizza in town?
where do I like Scratch
Yeah.
because
Scratch is
and
fantastic.
obviously I live close by.
Yep.
Um, but Main Street's really good too.
Yep. Have you been to Everybody's Pizza?
I don't think so.
I haven't either. It's kind of
I've
like
never heard of it
if
actually.
you drive when you're driving down the interstate and you get ready to get off at the downtown exit, look right, and it's right down there, right
Okay.
kind of near Fox Pools kind of area.
Okay.
But I've heard great things. So if you're listening and you run Everyday's Pizza and you want us to come down there and try your pizza, Martin and I would love to do that.
Let's do
And
that.
you can even come on the podcast and
For
tell
sure.
everybody about
Yeah.
Everybody's Pizza.
Exactly.
Where are you going to get a hamburger in town?
It depends. So fast food stuff, like I do like Pals
Oh,
when I have get a craving.
Pals is great and
Uh,
it's fast.
yeah, but when it's
Sudden.
more of a sit down place like that.
Yeah.
Um, I do like Label. Label has
That's typically the answer everybody
has
says.
a good
Yeah.
burger, but
Raphael does a good job.
yeah, I mean I'm trying to think. Like Blackthorn has a really good burger.
Oh yeah, they do.
Blacktown has really good food.
They
Actually,
really
they have
do.
really
The
good
guy,
food.
yeah, I need to get the chef on here.
Yeah,
That'd be good.
and I'm lucky that I have a membership to a contract, so I get to eat there quite a bit. And
And play golf
yes,
occasionally.
play
We still
golf.
haven't played golf yet.
I know we haven't. You're not.
That's going to happen.
You haven't accommodated my level yet.
No, I'm not. I'm
You're
like,
too good for me.
no, 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 no. It's kind of like you and tennis and I playing. I don't think so. Yeah. All right. Anything that I didn't ask you, you wish I had that you want to share with our listeners before we wrap it up?
Um, Not sure. I mean, like I said, I think we have two special programs right now at
Mm-hmm.
ETSU. I mean, we have a lot of special programs. Football did great,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think a lot of people realize how strong, like for example, men's golf and men's tennis is in
Mm-hmm.
a national landscape.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it would be nice for people that are actually tennis enthusiasts to come watch because they'll really see some high level tennis. I mean, my number one, for example, last year, he was ranked top 60 in the country. I mean, there's over what 3,000 players in the country,
That's
and we
crazy.
have a top 60 player
Yeah.
in here, and he
Yeah.
was only a freshman. So, and the girls are really good too. And it's not easy to win the conference. It's not easy to win and hold and win every year at everything. And we've done it 13 years in a row. I mean, obviously, my predecessors have done a tremendous job,
Yeah.
but we've kept going. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I think those teams are really special.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fun atmosphere to
Yeah.
come watch college tennis. It's much more different than, like I said, going to watch just a normal tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you know, I think that part is important, and that people. I think it'll bring. We always try to bring the community, bring more community towards our tennis. I
Mm-hmm.
do have a summer camp too. We're trying to
Oh
grow
yeah.
the tennis in
When's
the
that start?
area. It'll be in June this year. I haven't decided the date. Because I might have a procedure done in my leg, so I'm waiting on that. I gotta go to Vandy. I'm waiting on that date, but it's gonna be in June. I
Okay.
think mid to maybe late June.
How
Um,
old can you be? I'm
uh,
thinking of my.
7 years old. Normally, we take the youngest till 17 years old.
Okay.
So we always had a nice group of kids coming in.
That's like a week long deal where you
Yeah,
just
it's Monday to Friday.
drop them off at 8 a.m., pick
Yeah,
them up at midnight or something.
yeah, midnight exactly.
That way, parents can
Down.
have date night and then come pick their kids up.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds great.
No, it's fun, and we've tried to grow the tennis in the area.
Yeah.
That way we can
Are you involved in tennis locally?
try to. I mean, we really good friends with Ricky, who coaches at Science Hill, and he brings the kids sometimes to our matches. And
Okay.
he's actually worked the camp with me,
Nice.
and we tried to get him. Obviously, when we play indoors, we go to Bristol.
Yep.
And it's the only indoor facility really
Mm-hmm.
here. And we stay in contact with them. We try to run things there, and it's with COVID we had to wait, but we try to. What I've tried to do is do maybe pro-ams or some clinics at
Mm-hmm.
Johnson City Country Club or at Blackthorn
Mm-hmm.
so that my kids can get exposed.
Yeah.
Uh, but I do feel we need I feel there's people want to play. There's some tennis in the area. We just don't have that facility in the area for that. I mean,
Yeah. We've
people go to
got Science
Bristol.
Hill and.
I'm talking about indoor
Oh yeah.
because obviously in the summer it's easy. You
Right.
have public courts, you have Science Hill, even ETSU. But
Mm-hmm.
when the weather gets a little tricky, people got nowhere to go.
Well, and the Blackthorn indoor is booked all the time.
Well, and you have to be a member.
You got to be a member too.
Johnson City
Yeah,
Country Club
even
there's
then.
two.
And
You
then
have
you got
to
to
be
be
a
a member.
member.
And then there's some
And
little farm,
yes,
the barn.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think there's one court.
Yeah.
That's what the Mullins play. But other than that, people go to Bristol.
Yeah.
And some people will go, and some people will be like, "Oh, it's just so far."
Right.
So I wish we had something here because I think that would boom tennis.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those sports that is great because you can literally. I mean, if you're taking lessons, you're taking clinics, or you need one more person to play.
Right.
Right. It's not like most sports where you need 11, 10, 8, 7 people. You need
Right.
one person to play. And it's one of those, it's a lifetime sport. It's like
Yes.
golf,
Agreed.
lifetime sport. I mean, you look sometimes down on the bottom course when we're practicing, and there's a lot of older people playing, and it's
Mm-hmm.
nice to see.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It is cool. Okay. Cool. Well, thank you for coming in. Thanks for spending some time with me.
No,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
pouring into your boys and for leading ETSU to again, another conference championship, and we'll see you in the NCAA's this year. So we'll be watching for
Thanks
that.
for the pressure, the added pressure.
It's just speaking it into the future. It's gonna
Okay.
happen, Martin. I mean, just you got to believe, man.
Yeah,
Come
man.
on.
I know you have that crystal ball
I
somewhere.
do. It's right here. Like I'm seeing you with your like giant trophy over your head, and your team's just around you guys, and you're all crying, and it's gonna be
Perfect.
awesome.
Yes.
It's gonna be awesome.
Perfect.
Well, thank you guys for listening. Until next time, I'm Colin Johnson with the Colin and Carly Group and Keller Williams Realty. If you want to sell your home, which we need houses to sell, or make a move to Johnson City, or we do lots of property management. So if you're thinking of investing, we'd love to help you there as well. Until next time, have a great day and talk to you soon.